Hi, everyone. It's Maggie Wheeler, the Seaway Valley's Queen of Crime and host of the podcast Mapping a New Midlife. I'm sitting in front of a Christmas tree. So that means that 2024 is winding down and coming to a close, which doesn't quite seem possible, does it? Another year just goes by like a train, but here we are. And before the festivities really kick in and fill us with all that lovely busyness, I just wanted to take a few moments to reach out to you and catch up personally. 2024 is going to go down in my memory as my upside down season. I used that term a couple of times in the newsletter, and certainly I've talked about it in the podcast. And that was because of a number of things that happened all at the same time that had absolutely nothing to do with each other. They just all arrived at the same time. On a professional level, we had a fail of a federal lift bridge in Kingston, the LaSalle Causeway Bridge. And that meant that there were trapped ships in the Rideau River that couldn't make it into the St. Lawrence on time, one of them being the Canadian Empress. And a major part of my season now is to get on the Empress multiple times over the course of the season and do presentations. And she was stuck behind that bridge until July 1st. St. Lawrence Cruise Lines lost 9 spring cruises. I lost half my season with the Empress. And that's just something that came out of nowhere, and there wasn't anything you could do. At the same time, though, something absolutely unimaginable happened, and I was contacted by the purser of a super yacht called My Dream Boat. And they were coming into our seaway system for the very first time. And the family was looking for someone to get on board the ship with them and go through the seaway and teach them about the seaway so they'd understand what they were sailing past. There were going to be 2 trips. One was going to be inbound with the family, one outbound with friends. Would I be interested in being their tour guide? It took me about 5 seconds to figure that one out. But I'll tell you guys, it was a whole new challenge for me. And you're thinking, well, Maggie, you've been working with the history for 25 years now. It should have been easy. But think of what I do. Yes, I have worked with the entire history, but when I write my books and when I do my presentations, I'm bringing it into a very tight focus around the Lost Villages. That was not going to be it at all. It was going to be starting from the eastern end of the Seaway all the way to Kingston. It was quite an adventure, and getting ready for it, I had a few more than one terrifying moment thinking, I don't think I can do this, but I did, and I was treated very well on that ship, and it was quite an adventure, and it's a memory that I'm going to have with me the rest of my life. And again, didn't see that coming. Personally, I spent 12 months over the last year, just a little earlier than where we are now, dealing with a major health challenge. If you've been listening to the podcast, I have touched on that a couple of times. I haven't talked so much about it in the newsletter. And it was a significant health challenge. It was not life-threatening, for which I am very grateful, but it certainly was, when it took hold, life-altering. And to basically put it down into very simple terms, it cut my life in half. And it took a year to resolve itself, or to get into a process of a resolution, because, well, you know the drill. It takes time to get tests, time to see your doctor, time to see a specialist. It hung on for a long time. And it was a scary time. But what it meant was, because my health was not good, all the extras had to go. So I basically did my presentations, and I did the podcast, which continues now into its 2nd season, and the downloads keep adding up, and I am very grateful to my listeners. But that was it. Everything else had to go on the wayside till further notice. So I just wanted to take a moment to let you know officially that I am absolutely on the mend. I'm not completely out of the woods yet, but I'm feeling so much better, and I feel better every day. So all of those goals and dreams and ideas that I had for 2024 that kind of went up in smoke, they really just went into a box. And now they're sitting on my planning wall on sticky notes, kind of in a cluster, and I'm going to work it out over 2025. So I'm really, really excited about the new year. You know, we often talk in the podcast about the framework of challenge and opportunity. Challenge and opportunity are always together. They come together. They're joined at the hip. Every opportunity has challenges to it, right? Like with the Dreamboat. Every challenge, if we look for it, also gives us opportunities. So when you have an upside down season, the opportunity is that when you've righted it back up again, everything's all moved around. But that's an opportunity to reorganize, reconfigure, and reassess your priorities. So that's what I've been doing. It's a gift that I didn't see, also that I didn't see coming. It also, 2024, gave me time to think, unscheduled time to think, lots of time to think. And that was great. It also, I didn't realize it, but the great lesson that I had to learn was patience with uncertainty. And that idea, I give full credit to Catherine, Princess of Wales. She talked about that in the fall when she was coming back out to the public life after her challenge. And she said, I'm learning patience, especially with uncertainty. And I think that statement is going to be the statement of 2024. Now, I'm old enough to know that when something is going on in your life that's challenging, chances are there's a lot of people around you that are feeling the same thing, probably for different reasons. And so, for anyone who's listening to this or watching this video, who've had your own season of being upside down, I hope you kept the faith. If you're still in an upside down season, keep the faith and keep going. Because, as Winston Churchill once said famously, when you're going through hell, keep going. And he's right. So here we are, and it's Christmas. And it is my understanding that in this country, we have no less than 14 celebrations in our different cultures at this time. It's all a celebration about humanity and celebration about the year that has just gone by. I'm Christian. I celebrate Christmas. I'm also partially aware of the beauty and the mystery of Hanukkah. Whatever it is that you're celebrating at this season, here's my message to you. From my house to yours, from my family to yours, from me to you, my readers, my friends, my listeners. I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. I wish you a peaceful and lovely and loving holiday season. And I wish you all the best for that crisp, crackling, exciting new year that's just around the corner. So take care, and we will talk in 2025.